live.
Go time.
All right, it's go time. We are live at the 2022 Mosconi Cup here on the Doggin' Show. We tried to run a little video there, but we had a little bit of a hiccup. This title sponsor today is Fort Worth Billiard Superstore. Sorry, the video didn't work. We'll get to that and kind of get that fixed for you guys. We're here to talk about the Mosconi Cup, and today is day one. I'm super excited. I wish we had a little better backdrop for you guys, but
Don't go there.
that
It's
got
not the
left in
time.
You don't want to
Texas.
draw
I'm
the
not,
focus away from us.
I'm not sure what
And it started
happened.
off real negative this morning. Is all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I'm just saying.
Real negative. First the video, then the backdrop.
We also had a video of the line of people queued up to get in. And that
That
video
didn't work
was
either.
so impressive that video was too large to download.
I've
So
dropped the ball
it's,
3 times in the first 60 seconds of the show. So the
Yeah.
backdrop is on me though, but we are gonna get one in. I was already in Austin like at 1 a.m. in the morning before I flew out, and I said, I forgot the backdrop. One of the most important things. So, but we are going to get some help with it. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let us know in the chat if you're able to hear us. I'm Molina Mike. We got Mike Panozzo of Bridge Digest, one of our amazing sponsors, and even Red made it out all the way to Vegas,
Yep.
buddy.
I'm here. Also, guys, it's a new setup. So, yes, please let us know if you can hear us and see us okay. Guys, press conference yesterday, super fun. A lot of energy in that press conference. Earl really brought the pain and kind of got things going there. He was quiet for 45 minutes. Then it came to Earl, and man, it was just straight fire.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was. It was kind of the Earl and Jason show. I mean, everybody else was very measured, very deliberate, very courteous. Although David Alcady did kind of come out and throw some,
Who knew he had that in
some
him?
barbs. Yeah. But
He threw a
Jason
haymaker.
and Earl sat there very stone faced, and you could tell he didn't want to get dragged in. But once they handed him the mic, it didn't take.
It
him
didn't
long
take
to get
much,
dragged in. So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles today. He's going to come out right out of the gate playing team match and then doubles match. So we're going to see a lot of Earl early.
Mike, you've been coming to these for quite some time. You've been to 20 plus Mosconi Cups. What was that press conference like relative to what you've seen in the past?
It's like the whole production of the Mosconi Cup itself. Every year it's just bigger and more geeked up and more amped up. And there were, I don't know how many people were in there yesterday for a press conference, well over 100.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, a ton
I was
of people.
I'm
And
very
it
surprised.
was a ton of fun, and the players are into it. And so it was, they've not had press conferences like that before. So it's like every year, every part of the event is getting ratcheted up.
Listen, Jason's been gearing up to needle Oral in that press conference for the last 3
Oh, he
plus
was waiting.
weeks.
You
I
saw
mean,
him
he's
on the
been
edge of his seat.
politicking online on Facebook to let Earl play. We knew what to expect. I didn't realize though like how personal it was gonna get, whether on the shit talking side or the friendship side of it, because it kind of checked off both ends of the spectrum for me.
Yeah, they
It
did.
walked a fine line. Yeah.
And it's and I've talked about this before. We talked about the Mosconi Cup and Jason. Jason was really wound up yesterday.
Yep.
And if you're a U.S. fan, you hope that he's too wound up, because that's what happened in 2018 when he was just so geared up and so amped up that he just wasn't as focused on the table and made a lot of mistakes, and it was the year the U.S. won. So if you're a U.S. fan, you kind of hope that Jason is so, out of his mind into getting into Earl's head and U.S. fans' heads and all that stuff that he forgets to play pool.
Well, I mean, you saw him back then a couple years ago. Like, compare him.
Well, just his attitude going in was just, amped up maybe a little bit too much, and that can affect, your play. And I talked to him later last night, and he said these are the tightest packets he's ever played on.
Talk
He
about
said,
Jason.
Jason, yeah. And so, for him to, if these players aren't 100% focused on the shot, they're going to rattle some balls. So,
I mean, I think there's a lot of distractions. Obviously, we're in Las Vegas. The crowd's back. The atmosphere is phenomenal so far, and we haven't even,
hit a ball.
haven't even hit a ball yet. The fans are literally not even through the door yet. They will be shortly. I tell you, like, they seem to, even though they had a lot to say, the Europeans, they got a game to back it up. That's the scary part about it. All of them are proven winners throughout the entire year. Every single one of them in one fashion or another, including David, who he's kind of been a scapegoat for a lot of the drama that's been going on the last few weeks. But like Emily said in the press conference, the guy's won the World Cup of pool this year, and he's a veteran. So yeah, I don't know, man. I got up this morning like at 7. I go to the gym, and all of Team Europe and Earl's there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was and it was funny because they're doing cardio. Laley was, and Earl goes from doing his sit-ups to right next to Laley. And Earl just being Earl. While, when you're working out, Mike, you want to just be left alone and just do your thing and just focus on what you're doing. So he's there doing the cardio, and there's Earl just chirping in his ear. I wish my team was working out like this, like just the entire time. It was the funniest thing ever, man.
Hey, Panozzo, you know how you know somebody's going to the gym? They tell you.
They tell you.
Melina, he's got to get it in every show. Tell us how he goes to the gym every morning. You're looking good, Melina. You're fit. You don't have to
Joey
tell
Gray
everybody.
impersonation.
Yeah,
When I grow up, I want to look like you, buddy. What are they?
You can only hope. But yeah, just to give people kind of a glimpse of what I witnessed this morning. This is my first Mosconi Cup. Came downstairs, Melina and I grabbed a coffee, and we're walking through the lobby. And of course, we're running into people. We saw Oscar, we saw the Salado guys. It was so much fun, just kind of catching up with people. And then we get to the hallway. And what time was it, Melina? It was like 8:30 a.m.
8:30.
Packed already.
Yeah,
when we're walking in,
lines
an hour and a half before the doors open.
Yeah, and just excitement and people. There's a buzz about it, right? And so then Melina and I go to the front of the line, and we're waiting to kind of get in, with press credentials and try to get back into this room so we can start live streaming, get set up and everything. And Panozzo comes and says, "Hey, did you see that line? Go take a video of that line." And we did. We haven't been able to get it uploaded yet, but we'll share that with you guys online. And I went back to the start of the line, and I started walking down, just recording everybody who's in line. That line was huge. It was all the way back to the casino, and it was just such energy. And so as I'm slowing down and making sure that I'm recording everything, I get a bump on my shoulder and excuse me, and I ignored it. I just kept recording, and sure enough, when he finally got around me, it was Shane Van Boning. And he's like straight to the arena.
Here's what happens. People start clapping, and Joey's just there getting more and more red and smiling. Like thinking that everyone's clapping for him as he's walking through. Yeah. Then Shane gives him the elbow. Joey tumbles, and then the real applause came.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, tons of energy around here. The arena is beautiful. You guys are going to really appreciate it if you're watching online. But I think the people here are going to appreciate it even more. Being in the seats, they have this cool lighting, the red and blue on each side. Obviously, yeah.
I'm excited to be out there instead of getting out of this Silence of the Lambs room that we're in right now, boys. I tell you.
It is kind of interesting. And well, somebody would have remembered our backdrop, we'd be straight. But hey,
I literally remember it every event that I go to, with the exception of the most important one.
Yeah. Hey guys, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors and just thank them. Without them, we wouldn't be here. They helped us out. They helped us get to this trip. You see them all around. Melina made this awesome graphic. Do us a favor and hit them up. Go to their websites, buy their products, buy their services, because without them, we wouldn't be here. They're behind what we do, and we're behind them. So do us a favor and check them out. Also, let us know if there's any issues with the audio. It's a new setup for us, and we're going to be doing this twice a day from this room throughout the event. And then at night, we break it down. We head over to Griff's, and we're going to do a show at Griff's. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts here. So if we come live, we don't want to be talking for 45 minutes and then find out you guys couldn't hear us. So do us a favor and let us know.
Well, we actually got the green light. For sure, we're getting the captains on every day, and whoever we want to get as far as players. So you guys let us know. Hit us up, whether it's on here or in Messenger, or hit up Joey in Messenger. Who you guys want to see us interview afterwards. Anybody and everybody we're going to be able to get. It's pretty exciting, boys.
Yeah, and we're going to try to have on, relevant folks from that day.
Right.
And so why don't we jump in and start talking about
the fans who are watching the matches, if you want to, if there's a match that really piqued your interest and you want to know what this player was thinking, jump into messaging and let us know.
I'm going to really pay attention and write stuff down. Stay off my phone.
Yeah, so obviously you get the team match starting out. I think Melina has a graphic on this. But you got the team match starting out, and I believe we heard yesterday that it's been since 2017 since Europe's won the team match. Is that right?
The team match. The U.S. has won the last 4 team matches, which is good. You always want to get off to that quick start, get a point under your belt right away, and it's just from the way Alex Laley talked about it yesterday at the press conference that he's making that a focal point for his team this year is let's get that first match. Let's get that team match first. Just mentally, psychologically, it seemed like it was important to him to get them off, on the right foot with the team match.
Number one, I love the next level stats when it comes to Alex knowing that because that just shows his attention to detail when it comes to this event. It's not the we're stealing kind of attitude that we've seen in years past. Knowing a number like that and reiterating it just shows the importance of each one. That's to start off with. Number two, this matchup really shows that for me, Team USA needs to come out strong and
Yeah,
make it a fifth year because it does not get easy as number 2, 3, and 4 goes on. I mean, it's brutal.
it is. It's,
Yeah,
it's
for new folks who might not have seen the Mosconi Cup before, take them through what the team match is all about. And Ozo, can you explain how the format for that works?
yeah. Well, the team match just works out. Player one plays. The captains line up their squads 1 through 5, and the first match, say Josh plays Earl, and it's just one rack. They like the break at the very beginning of the event, and so each team switches, breaks, and then it's just one rack. So it's very conceivable, and it's certainly happened in the past where, if you played in a team match, you may have got through a whole team match without taking a shot because your opponent came in and broke and ran out, and you just sat in your chair, and now it's to the next teammates.
Pretty cold.
So you can get some cold rolls. So it's just a good little, one game head to head with each player on each team, and if it goes beyond 5 racks, then you start the whole rotation over again.
I would say there's more pressure on the Americans because we're back in Vegas with a crowd and an excited crowd at that. But that stat just really makes it show that they've all been here and done that, and they're capable, right? Um, I don't know, man. I mean, in a race to what is it, 4 matches today? Is what we're going to.
Correct.
I think momentum is always going to be important. But I don't know, man. It's really like a murderer's row because in match number 2, you got the defending world champions facing the other side against a lot of question marks when it comes to Oscar and Earl.
Yeah, well, it's a great, we kind of thought that Alex would trot David and
That's what I was saying. Get him, jump,
just go out right away,
toss him out.
Early enough.
Yeah,
which can be a double-edged sword. I mean, if we were talking before, and I said if you're a USA fan, your perfect world scenario is that USA wins the team match, and when Francisco plays
he's in a
single
hole.
match, he never gets out of his chair. His opponent breaks and runs out, right? So now you go into the doubles match, and
Right. I didn't
Ruiz
think about
still
that.
hasn't hit a ball yet. And now, if you can steal that doubles match, now you've got you're starting off the day. Then Sanchez Ruiz is done for the day. He's not going to hit another ball till tomorrow, and he's going to have to be thinking about that the whole day, right? So you're kind of looking for these little, okay, what if type of
That mental
scenarios.
warfare,
Yeah, a little mental warfare. So if you can get, I think the team match is great, but I think that first doubles match is really a table setter for what day 1 and going into day 2 is going to look like. Because if you can get David and Francisco a little bit on their heels and a little bit not 100% sure of themselves, you're way ahead of the game. David and Francisco come out and just blaze through that doubles match, then it's off to the races for those 2 guys.
And Jeremy goes with Oscar and Earl, which I think was kind of a surprise
Interesting.
to us. Yeah, trying to
Very.
figure it out. Perhaps he saw something in their preparation for this that told him that this would be a good matchup. What are your thoughts on it, Molina?
I like we talked about this before as we were like forecasting what could happen, all these hypotheticals. I like the idea of these 2 guys getting out there starting off with because just like, Francisco and David, you kind of have to get their wheels greased a little bit. Except Francisco and David have been in big spots this entire year, so there's a big difference there. They've been in pressure-packed moments in finals, whether individually or as a duo. It really makes me scratch my head, and the reason being is because they're done after that. They're not going to be playing again. So it made sense that if they're going to go out in a doubles, and Mike, maybe you would know better than me when it comes to the rules, but like if you're going to play a doubles, follow up that momentum with playing in a singles because now you've already been on that. You've already had that table time as you're going into your individual match. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and they talked about that a little bit yesterday. The captains,
Yeah.
when we asked them about strategies, and they said, well, sometimes it's you like to have someone play singles after doubles. So Jeremy's very well aware of that. So him not following up a doubles with a singles and Alex did the same thing, didn't follow
Right.
double
Yeah.
decisions.
But I mean,
They had to have
but look
that
though,
in their mind.
you got filler, right behind you. That's massive.
Yeah,
And
Jeremy
it is,
actually.
and he must have, they talked yesterday, excuse me, but that they don't really look at what the other team does. There's no way that Alex and Jeremy didn't kind of look ahead and say, okay, he's going to come out with filler in the first singles. I'm going to come with Sky because
Yeah.
Sky likes to play filler. And there's no way Alex didn't know.
You think they know like what the other guys got on that
I
spot?
think they have a really good idea of what the preference is, or what the likelihood is of who they're going to throw out.
Right.
And so
But it's a lot of the same characters they've seen over the last few years
Yeah.
too.
Jeremy actually said yesterday, because I agree, I've seen that quite a bit in these types of competitions where you'll go double singles with the same
Right.
players, so they're kind of, they've gotten shaking the nerves off a little bit,
Right.
get in their singles match, get into their flow. But Jeremy actually said there's times for that and times that you don't want to do that. And so obviously he felt like this was a time to not do that. He's going with Oscar and Earl, and then, like you said, following up with Skylar, and probably going to be the most anticipated match of the day, I would say, with Skylar going against Filler. USA, a lot rides on this match, I think.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
real quick before we move on to that one, like that Ruiz and David matchup is just beyond massive for me because if David stumbles, that's Francisco's security blanket there,
Right.
And I guarantee you, every one of those American fans are going to let him know if he jaws it up. Is that the chant? I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
It's going to be something. You can guarantee it.
Yeah.
But my point is that if you're Francisco, you're a rookie, right? David's pretty much here to make sure that you're comfortable throughout, right? So let's say he rattles a little bit. Now that's your guy, right? Oscar and Earl, they haven't played out here in a while, in years.
Suppose they lose that match overwhelmingly and really stumble.
What do you mean, like a 5-0
Yeah.
in favor of the
Or
Americans?
5-1.
Could be
And
5-3,
that
but if you
opens
miss
up-
2 or 3 balls, then it's a whole.
See, that's a big difference. Yeah.
Score.
If you break dry, what can you
Yeah,
do,
still
right?
But if you want to see them miss balls, if you root for USA, you want to see them rattle a few.
Yeah.
No matter what the score is, and that would give you some hope.
I mean,
But then if they lose bad, they miss some balls, that really opens up the doubt in Team Europe.
this
right?
is where it really gets mental because now you're for sure going to see these boys again on day 2, right? You would think. And now everyone's just going to be expecting the fall, right? Or expecting the miss, and they're going to be ready to pounce on them every single time. And here's the thing, like as soft spoken as David is, there was some shit talking from him in that press conference.
Yeah, there was.
Not quite like Jason level, but you're coming out saying that I belong here. Well, you better go and show you belong here because if not, the American fans are going to let you know that you probably don't belong here.
Yeah. And something that came out yesterday was that I think like 50 fans travel from Spain.
How strong is that? That's
That is
incredible.
pretty strong.
That's
But
really-
also,
that's really
does that add a layer of pressure for them, right?
How can it not?
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
They're playing in front of 50 people from their homeland. It's going
You
to be
just talked
interesting.
about how his father flew over for him.
How
His father hates
amazing
to
was
fly.
that, man?
That's really cool. So
That is cool.
yeah, I think they know there's a lot of pressure on them, but I think that they go into it, trying to convince themselves that they're going to embrace it and have fun with it, right? And that's what you have to try to do. But theory and reality is 2 different things, so you never know until they hit that first ball. Does it go to the center of the pocket, or does it use a little rail?
The other side of this, let's say they win 5-1 or 5-0. Man, that's got to be super strong for Europe. They got to be feeling great about their position after that match. No, regardless of what happens in the team match, if they come out and play strong, the Spanish duo,
Yeah,
that's gonna
then
be-
that then
that's gonna be
everybody on the team just kind of exhales and says, "Okay,
we got
they're
this.
going to be fine."
But isn't that the expectation though? Because you're the defending World Cup of Pool champions, and I mean, let's just be realistic here. You're playing against Oscar and Earl. There's like, if you were playing against Sky and Shane, it'd be different, right? I mean, isn't it mentally you're expected to win and win comfortably? I feel like, right, or at least get the point, bare minimum, right?
It's interesting pairing that Oscar and Earl won. It'd be interesting to talk to Jeremy later and say, what was your thought process? And I don't know if it's, trying to get Earl out of the gate right away so he's not sitting and waiting too long, and 2, pair him up with your most even-keeled
Talking about
guy on
Earl.
the team, Earl and Oscar.
Yeah.
Get Earl out there early and pair him with someone who's as even-keeled as they come so that the match doesn't have a chance really to go and tilt, So that's
You hear it, boys?
I hope you can hear the audio because I think
So
the
we're
crowd.
right
Oh, actually, we
outside.
can see it now. Yeah, the
We're
fans are already getting let
the
in here.
arena, and the fans are in the arena, and they have a little TV here that's kind of showing the live action.
You
Team
think if we
USA.
pan over, we'll get kicked out?
I don't
Probably
know.
so.
Probably.
But
Probably
Team Europe was warming up, and now Team USA came out. Tyler Steyer's hitting some balls, and all the fans are going crazy around the table, taking pictures, having a blast.
Yeah,
This is
it's
going to
gonna
be
be
a
fun.
lot of fun. So Sky Woodward and Josh Filler.
Yeah.
Can't ask for a better match.
Box office, son. Box office.
Yeah.
If there's a guy I want going against Josh, with two guys, one of them, ironically enough, would be Tyler.
Really?
I genuinely mean that because of his record over him. And sometime this week we got Fargo had sent us some stats when it comes to player versus player matchups over the last few years, and I think you guys are going to be real surprised by that. But it would be Tyler or Sky. Sky's big time. Sky's clutch. The moment doesn't get the better of him. I think he stands up for playing a guy like Josh. Josh is obviously far more decorated than Sky is, but it's the Mosconi Cup. And it's a race to 5.
So is this the big pressure match for the USA? We talked about Sanchez Ruiz and David being the big pressure match for Team Europe on the first day. As far as being, we expect to get this point, we need to get this point. We don't want to lose this point. Is
this an automatic
that
point
way-
for your Sky if you're a Team USA fan?
Not automatic, but
Well, no,
Yes,
no,
Sky-
not at all. But this is the matchup you want. If Josh is out there, you want Sky playing it. Okay, now if Sky doesn't win, that's a little deflating for a U.S. fan as well. So is this? You look at the first day and say, this is, if you're a USA fan, this is the match you got to win.
Let's say you, Joey.
yeah, I think a lot hinges on that second match, right? If Earl and Oscar Steele won there, it obviously takes the pressure off of Sky. But yeah, Sky is our most clutch player in the Mosconi Cup.
Right.
It's a huge
You
match
need
for
him
the
to,
U.S.
you need him to get your
Yeah,
points.
and you know what? I'm not taking moral victories here, but if he loses a
No.
close match and Josh breaks and runs on the hill or something, he was there. He was right there, and that doesn't mean that if they play again 2 days from now, that Sky won't get the job done. But
Yeah.
what you don't want to see is any lopsided matches
right.
here
Right.
by either team. So if either of those
See, I
players go
think
out
Sky can fade a 5-0 mentally. He's really easy going. Not like Oscar easy
I'm not
going.
talking about Sky. I'm
Oh,
talking
well-
about the rest of the team.
Right.
Seeing Sky lose
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
would be kind of
A losing period. I mean,
Yeah, but
you're
you wouldn't
looking at each of these guys. Okay, how many points do you need out of each guy to win the tournament? Right? You need Sky to get you 4 to 5 points. You need that. So
Are you thinking so
anytime he
big a
doesn't
picture,
get
Mike, or are
your
you just thinking like match to match?
I'm thinking bigger picture.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, we need Sky to get 5 points. Okay. So what, 2 or 3 in singles and a couple of
Right.
doubles. So every opportunity that you have with him out there and you don't get that point, that puts more pressure on the
That's
next
true.
time he plays, right?
That's
Because
true.
you got to get X number of points out of these guys.
you got to think about it that way.
I mean, I think you take it like quarter by quarter. Like that those basketball
Yeah,
cliches
you
or those
can't do that.
NFL cliches.
It's just this stuff that gets stuck in the back of your mind.
It's not like the NBA. Everybody doesn't make a run.
But I mean, but Sky can brush it off. I feel like
Yeah,
he's not going to hold on to it. Where some other guys may eat at him more or may weigh on him more. Even if Sky's
We just
down,
can't
let's say
have them brush
4-0.
off too many this week.
No.
But I think the point is that if Sky does lose in that match, I think it is a little deflating to Team US.
I mean, if you're stuck 2-0 going into it,
Yeah.
you know,
Then this big
easy
trouble.
boys.
Yeah,
It's time to buckle down now
Big
because
trouble.
now you're at 3-0, and I mean,
Well, but we saw what Europe did last year. They were behind. They turned things around. So I don't think at the end of today, I don't think it decides this cup
Oh,
by
gosh,
any
no.
means.
No,
I think that there's still room for either team to come back from a deficit. Let's look at this last matchup because, frankly, we got to get in there and get in our seats. Things are about to get cooking. Shane Van Boning and Tyler Steyer against Jason Shaw and Albin Ocean. What do you guys think of that one?
go ahead, Mike.
Albin and Shaw, that's a really good team pairing for them.
Yeah,
it's a really
I
good
agree.
pairing for them. It's a really strong team. So, they got to be relatively heavy favorites in that. And I'm not as concerned about that if it's 4-0 or 3-0 at the time. But, if it's 2-1 either way, that match to me, I'm okay with however it turns out. I'd love to see them steal a point, obviously. Shane and Tyler, I'd like to see them play well together. I'd like to see them both hit the ball well.
I think they will. I think they will play well together. I think that's a good matchup for the U.S.
I hope so,
It's a good matchup to steal a point here.
and we'll see what Jason's like. It's going to be really interesting to see how, because he's going to come out geeked to the match.
He's gonna have
for
two
that
matches
event.
to really just stew after that team won.
Right.
And if you don't get any table time, then you're really gonna come out as relatively cold, right?
Yeah.
But yet still high on adrenaline and emotion from
Right.
the press conference and wanting to prove your point, right?
Trivia question for you: who's got more Mosconi Cup appearances, Oscar Dominguez or Tyler Steyer?
Tyler.
What say you, Melina?
I mean,
You're like, where'd
Mike's
that
been
come
doing
from?
this. Mike's been doing this for forever.
I'm
I would say
just kind of guessing because I think Oscar's. I think this is only his third or fourth,
Third time.
right? This
Third
is only
time,
his third.
Tyler's fourth.
Tyler's fourth. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, in fact, they
Yeah.
were putting stats up there. I think they played.
Oh, so you were cheating. You were setting me up. I'm looking this way, and he's looking behind me over here. Wonderful.
I was surprised by that.
I'm in a
because,
trap, boys.
you
That's
know,
what it is.
when I'm thinking about the makeup of Team USA, I look at Oscar as a seasoned veteran,
Yeah.
and I look at Tyler as someone who, is now starting to approach veteran status. Right?
Yeah.
There was a couple years where he was the young
Right.
guy, and he was kind of breaking on the scene, but now this is his fourth appearance.
Yeah.
So this is his time to really.
So let me ask you this: we talked about not following up a doubles with a singles. I'm just noticing all 10 players are playing on the first day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I can't remember whether that was
That's what, if it was a rule or not.
rule because it seems awfully, perfect from that standpoint. But the other thing is score after the first day.
That's what I was going to ask. Joey, why don't you go first? Joey's real soft. He's going to say 4-0 Team USA.
No,
Or
no,
probably
no,
play
no.
middle and go
No,
2-2.
I'm going 2-2.
Yeah.
Of course
really
you
am.
are. Of course you are.
I'm going 2-2.
Way to go out on a limb, buddy.
And here's what I'm going to say that Europe takes the first two and the U.S. takes the last two.
Wow.
Oh, boy. I'm going to
That's
go.
all I have to say about that.
I'm going to go 3-1.
Europe?
He always
No.
takes the chalk.
No.
He always takes the
No.
chalk.
I'm going to go 3-1 in favor of the Americans. I like the team.
What?
I like Sky, and I like the closeout and Shane and Tyler. Everyone can go 2-2 or in favor of the Europeans, and they're on paper, they're going to be the favorites. I'm going to go out the flyer and say the Americans ride the momentum. I just looked over as they were showing the screen over here. They look real loose. Call me crazy. Cinderella.
I was going to go 3-1 US too, but my vision is they go out of the gates 3-0, and then Europe gets the last match.
That Dominguez Earl one is going to be. It's going to. I'm really excited. Listen, we got to go. We got to run. Thanks to all our sponsors. We got to get our seats. Figure out where we're going. Shout out to everyone. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Like and share the stream. We're going to be back on after the event, right, boys? Yeah, and
maybe
then,
about an hour after the event.
Yeah,
We'll have the captains on for sure, and probably a few players.
Yeah, let us know who you guys want to see. Send us a message, and
Send Mike a message.
No. Send Joey a message. We'll see you guys.